In this video we're going to look at inserting images and text boxes into one of your whiteboard pages. This is a really useful tool because once we can do this sort of thing, we can start dragging things around the page, getting students to move things, match things, categorize things. It just starts making your pages much more interactive. So the first thing I want to do is get some pictures that I've already saved onto my computer and to place them on one of my whiteboard pages. In my toolbox I've got the Insert Media tool here. If you can't see it on your toolbox, you will find it in the main toolbox and you'll be able to find it in there. I'm going to click on the Insert Media, and what it's going to do is ask me to find some pictures that I want to display on the page. So it's taking me to browse for them. I'm going to go into my pictures folder, and I'm going to grab some images that I've saved here already. In this case I'm going to grab a couple of pictures of different haircuts. So I'm going to insert that image. I'm going to find another one, insert that image. So there we go. I have two images that I can place wherever I want on my page. By selecting them I can also increase the size. Obviously when you're doing this, be careful, you could end up with it getting a bit pixelated or unclear and you won't want to do that. So here we've got two pictures on the page, and in this case say I want to put some text on that the students can use either the pen on the whiteboard or wireless mouse to drag. I will now go to the text box tool, click on that, and then wherever I click on the page it will assume that I want to write some text. So I'm going to put that one haircut is a bob, and when I've finished with that one text box, as long as the text box tool is still selected, I can click somewhere else on the page and it will allow me to create another text box. Comb over, and then I will put another one which is just a red herring, just so the students got a choice. When I've stopped wanting to create text boxes, I'll just click on the selection tool so that I'm not creating text boxes anymore. Okay, once I've created a text box, it's movable, so I can use that feature to drag them around the page to match things up. If I've made a mistake in one of my text boxes, I can double click on it and retype. Also you'll see when I'm in here I can say if I want it to be bold, what size of text I want it to be, so I can make it bigger. I can change the colour. Let's go for dark blue. Okay, and then I'll click back on my selection tool to get out of that, and you see I've made the text a bit bigger and a different colour. So you can do that. I'm going to put mine back to where it was though because it looks a bit strange like that. So go back to black. Okay, go to the text size, make it a bit smaller. You see here also I could change the font type if I want to. If I know students have got a particular need with the way they're reading, if you want something to be clearer or different you can change it. I'll keep it as a default though. And there we go, I've selected it. So now with those different pieces of text I could pass the wireless mouse around or get students to come up to the board with the pen and say, well, would you please match up that hairstyle, and they'll drag it across and drag it across, and obviously there could be some discussion of whether they've got it right or not, and students could all come in and help correct each other. It's a good way of setting up discussion. One thing I would say is if I've got that text box and I want to put it over the top of the picture, I've got to think about the colour of it really, because that doesn't show up very well, so you would have to think about that. But other than that it works really neatly. Anything to do with ordering, matching, you could do little quizzes, little tests using it, anything like that. Just very simple images and text. can resize them if you want to, just to make it a lot simpler for people. And there you go, that is it. Once you've saved this, you could use it over and over again. You could have this page as part of another class where maybe you talked about different subjects, different hairstyles in this case, and then at the end of the actual lesson you'll have this as an activity just to check on learning. So there's lots of different uses for it. In another video we'll look at combining this with different shapes and things as well, but all of these types of things just give you that extra little bit of interactivity, that extra bit of interest in the class, just getting the students to do something for you. So that's it in a nutshell, text boxes and images.